Hello everyone, my name is Manpreet Singh and you're watching Mr. NRI channel. I am making series of videos in which I'll make tutorials on web programming, and these are the topics I will cover, starting with HTML CSS basics, followed by grid layouts using CSS, then flexboard using CSS, then JavaScript, and at the end we will do server-side language called PHP and MySQL. So today we will make a basic HTML document and apply CSS on it. Let's move ahead. And I am using VS Code software, that is Visual Code, and it's pretty handy to code. And you will see why I'm saying that. Let's make an index.html file first. It's a default file opened by the browser when you open any URL. Let's make some basic tags first. Head tag is something which is loaded first when a web page is loaded. First page. That's enough. Body tag is basically for the physical content. In head tag we generally add things like title, meta tags, CSS. Earlier we used to add JavaScript in header as well, but now we are doing it in a footer, just so that our web page loading does not get slow due to the load of the JavaScript. And in body tag we use the physical content, the content which we want to show it on a page. And the good thing about the HTML is it does not show any errors. Even if you write any tag wrong or you do something wrong, it will still work, it will display the output. And this thing also make this language worse as well, because if anything is not working as it's supposed to be and you have wrote so many lines of code, it will be very difficult to find an error, because the browser will not show the error, browser will work as it's fine, and you will have to go through all the code, and it will make things very difficult to find an error as browser is not reporting it. So it's a good side as well as a bad side. So let's use h1 tag now. It's basically a heading tag, and we have up to 7 heading tags. h1 is larger, h2 can be used for subheading, and h3 can be used for further more and more. And then we can use, wait, I'll show you how it's looking. Oops. So here we can look at the output on our left side as well, and on right side I will be coding. So h1 is little bigger than h2, and if we use h3 it will be a little more smaller, and so on. And when we just want to add normal text, we use paragraph text, that's p tag. See, that's a normal text. And if we want to use the order list or unordered list, we can use ul tag, that is unordered list, and then li tag, that means list item. You can say, oops, that doesn't make any sense, sorry. India, India, Canada. See, now we have two bullet points items because it's an unordered list. Now let's create one more option, and that's my favorite colors. Ignore my spellings. It will be a mixture of UK and US. Like I feel I'm using the favorite of UK and using the colors of US, so ignore that. Wanted LI, and let's say red. See, now in order list you will see the numbers with every item. What more we can do is we can use the button tag. Button. And if we want the user to add any value, we can use input tag. There are so many of tags, but I'm just writing few of the important ones. And if we want some default, let's not use the default value, rather than we can use the placeholder. Placeholder is something which will be shown if there will be no value. We can still work over it. If you remember the early days, there was no placeholder thing, so this is what we used to do it. We used to add some text through value tag, and through JavaScript we used to clear it, like when click on that, and then we used to call a JavaScript function to clear that, if you remember the old programming days. But now we have this placeholder, so things have been made easier nowadays, and I will tell you a lot of such things in my upcoming videos, which are available on browsers, and we don't have to code, such as validations, etc. I think it's enough for the tags. Now let's do the CSS part and implement design on this web page. For that, let's create a CSS folder, and in this CSS folder let's create a CSS file, style.css. and now first we need to do is link this CSS file with our HTML document. For that we use link tag, link relation equals to style sheet, then type equals to text CSS, then link equals to CSS style.css. So now our CSS file has been linked to this document. Do you want to see? Let's check it out. First, use the body tag. Body tag is this whole content area. Let's put some styling to our whole body. See, so I gave a background color, and the background color of whole page is changed. This proves that our style file has been linked to our document. Now let's start playing with the CSS. Start with the h1 tag. Let's say color. See, so wherever h1 tag is mentioned, the color will be changed to red. And you can also implement same styling to multiple tags as well. Nice, but I want to do something different. Background color, let's try. Let's do everything through CSS. See, so the text has been moved to the center. I'm keeping it left so that we don't have to minimize my current window to see it. But I just showed you that you can do so much through CSS. Okay, now do something else. Let's do something with h2 tag. Color. Let's say this one. And background color. Okay, it's not looking good at all, and I want this to look little better. And what we can do is use padding, maybe 1 em. Let's see how. It's too much, but still it's looking a little better than before, and I think white text will look more better. So if you want, you can also apply CSS to paragraph tag. Let's say background color, a little different. Let's apply CSS on the order list. We can do it like that. Here we will have to mention the main tag, and that is li. So we are saying here like li element of ul tag should be having the CSS we are going to write. And if we will not mention this, it will apply to all the li tags. And we can play with button as well, and that's the best part. I really love applying CSS on the buttons. Let's make it something similar to our page. Oops. We can also apply CSS on input field as well. Here we are telling that we are applying CSS on the text fields. Let's say background color, width. We can use line height for the height. See, so it's looking way better now. So that was the basic tags and applying CSS on it. And this is the external CSS. Here it is, our document is linked with external CSS, and I will suggest you to always use external CSS. There are so many benefits, and I will suggest you to always use the external CSS. There are so many benefits of using it, and you will came to know in my future videos. And I should tell you that internal CSS, this CSS mentioned in the document. Let's apply a few of the CSS using internal CSS. Let's say H2. H1 because it's not looking good, so let's change the H1. Background color. See, so the internal CSS will always have a higher priority compared to the external CSS. And similarly, we have a inline CSS as well. Inline CSS is the CSS where we apply the property inside the tag using the style tag, style and color. See, so this H1 has 3 CSS, one in the external CSS file, then in the internal CSS file, not the file, in fact in the document, and now inline as well. And we can see is inline has the highest priority, followed by the internal CSS, then the external one. Now I'll tell you how to create a link. Let's make a file like red.html, and this time I'm going to use few shortcuts of the software. Let's see. Let's use a bit of internal CSS. I don't recommend you, but I'm using it to just show you. So I have created a page and gave the background color of red to it. This is the page, okay, and now I will link the red color with that page, and for that we use a tag, that's anchor tag, href, the link, and link here we can see. And whenever we create a link, by default that is underlined, and I think it's of a blue color as well. Let me confirm. Yep, see, so by default the link color is blue and it's underlined. Oops, something has happened. See, so now we have created our link, and now color has changed, and that's a visited link color. We can create a backlink to this page as well, which will link it to. We can create a backlink to this page as well, which will link back to our home page. See, so this is how we can create links. Hope you know the basics of the HTML now. Let me tell you one more thing, how to change the color of the links. We can do it using the A tag. And if we just want to change the color of the visited, now the visited links color have been changed to green. That means the link which we have visited. If it will be an unvisited link, the color will be red. Okay. So that was all about the basics of the HTML. And if you already knew HTML, you might have not found much of the stuff to learn from in this video, but in my next video you will learn the grid layouts, and that will be very interesting. So, and yeah, one more thing, what I'm going to do is save all of my code to my GitHub account. Although it's basics, but my future codes will be very useful. And if you want to see what I have coded, or download the code, or check my code, you can follow me on my GitHub account. See, I submitted the code there, and it's here. No, actually it's not. I have not posted yet. Yeah, it's now. So hope you liked my video, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and soon I will be uploading the video about the grid layouts. Thanks for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe.